Today there's much more to beef than entrecote steaks, ribeyes and rump steaks. There are beef chucks, short ribs, beef cheek, beef tail. For us professional butchers, the aim is to showcase these products.
It's a much smaller species.
Yes, they're small animals.
Smaller in size, of course, but when it comes to the quality of meat,
It's really delicious.
here we have a meat that is lean while remaining pleasant to eat. It's because of the butcher's craft. He takes a cut that usually gets boiled and carves it so it can be fried, keep all of its flavor.
Master butchers in Puy-en-Velay are promoting a lesser-known aspect of French gastronomy, meat carving. It's an integral part of France's culinary heritage. Some call it a technique, while others, like butcher Brice Puy-en-Velay, believe it's an art form in itself.
The French art of meat carving means using each cut to suit the dish. To make a stew, you cut it in such a way. For a roast or a steak, you cut it in another way.
In line with French tradition, animals are carved from head to toe. For butchers, not wasting any meat is a question of honor.
You can get 60 to 80 pieces of meat from half an animal, depending on the butcher.
For them, it's all about finding the best cuts, even from the lesser-known parts of the animal.
In this shin, you have two parts that are very good for making steaks. But you have to know where to find them. Here's one. There. That's an exquisite cut for steaks. It's not just good, it's exquisite. We call these little pieces butcher's cuts. They're really top-notch. We're following the Parisian tradition, meaning we go back for those small pieces of steak that hide in unusual parts.
The cut must be as neat as possible to preserve the taste and the flavors. This requires dexterity and speed, something butchers develop through constant practice.
You've got to mind the string that's in the meat and cut alongside it, not through it. Training takes at least 2 years, but it goes on all your life. You learn something every day.
Close by are the imposing Mouzon Mountains. 1,200 meters above sea level, fewer than 100 cattle breeders continue an age-old tradition that produces an exceptional meat, the fin gras du Mouzon. It comes from grass-fed cattle that's fattened in its last winter with a natural mountain hay. Its light aniseed flavour gives the meat its unique taste. Brice comes here to source the best products for his customers.
It's a meat that comes from a particular breed of cattle, the Salaire and the Aubrac. It's specific to the Maison Plateau.
Here, butchers regularly meet with the breeders and hand-pick their own animals.
This one has a good bone structure, don't you think?
A very nice spine.
Great spine and a nice bottom.
And in spring, as soon as it's warm enough, she'll be able to graze outside.
The fin gras du Mouzon is sold according to a unique distribution system.
Our clients are mostly butchers and restaurant owners. It's very exclusive. Big stores and supermarkets can't afford to buy this meat.
Back in his shop, Brice now offers this exceptional meat to his customers. True to his profession, all the edible pieces of the animal go on display. Part of his job is to inform customers which are the best cuts, and equally as important, how to cook them. Yves Charles is a former Michelin-starred chef. He came here to ask Brice's advice.
I only work on the entire animal, so I need to sell all of it. You can't ask me for ribeye every day. If you can't cook everything, we can't work together. I'm very straightforward about that. You need to know what to do with the other cuts.
Even an experienced chef like Yves depends on the butcher's know-how to enhance his own cooking.
We can see that it's the work of the butcher that allows us to use the tougher pieces of meat. If we cook them as they are, they would hardly be edible. In any case, very tough and dry. and not enjoyable at all. But here we're going to get a lean type of meat that's very pleasant to eat, and that releases very tasty juices and flavors when it's chewed.
The work of a master butcher is much more than cutting up carcasses. It's also about showcasing the work of cattle breeders and delivering the best cuts to chefs, restaurants, and everyday customers. In French gastronomy, the master butcher and the art of meat carving form an essential part of the food chain.
Today, meat is like a jewel. There are people, cattle breeders, who work very hard to make the best products, and that needs to be highlighted. Us, we're here to get the most out of the product, for the pleasure of our clients.